and welcome back. Today I thought I'd talk about glotions and the pros and cons of using one and how to find one. And most of you were excited about the launch of this, and this is why I'm doing this video. This is Chanel Le Beige Water Fresh Tint. It comes in 3 shades. This is the medium, and I'm going to show you them on my hands. I'm going to show you how the category developed and where it comes from, and the iconic ones that are still out there and the new and exciting ones. And I'm going to do all budgets as well, and also the pros and cons of using glotions, because they're not for everyone. So let's start with the play on the word glotion, made up by a beauty editor. We do love a play on words. And the original glotion, which is essentially either a primer, although I'm not including primers here, but I'm including first step skincare and skincare that can be mixed in and out of foundations to give you that soft focus. It's not really a shimmer, it's a sort of lit from within effect. And we cannot start a video on glotions and talk about anybody other than MAC Strobe Cream. This is the original. I honestly can't go back any further than MAC Strobe Creams. I'm sure there's makeup artists out there that'll tell me they've been around longer than that. But this is MAC Strobe Cream, and it's basically a hydrating, illuminating, I mean, you'll not be surprised to see, right? Let's just put some on the back of my hand. Now this comes in so many shades, I can't tell you. But essentially what it is if I put it on one hand, I should have taken off that, and then do that. Tell me you can see that hand compared to that hand. So this is a sort of soft focus. Do you remember when Victoria Beckham launched her range and she did one that was essentially peach light strobe cream? It comes in so many shades. It's a great product. It gives you, my hand just looks alive. It has no coverage. There are a range of different tints here. Now that's the advantage of going back to the original. Lightly scented but not overly powerful. It just makes my hand look alive as opposed to looking dead and dry. This has got nothing on it. I've literally put nothing on that since I had a shower this morning, so I haven't moisturised this at all. This one looks moisturised, hydrated. It just looks more youthful, and you can put foundation on top of that. You can mix that with foundation. You can put it on afterwards. You can do that soft subtle bit on the top of your cheeks, down your nose. I mean, it's a classic, and it's a classic for a reason. And then while strobe light was being sort of used by professional makeup artists and forgotten by the rest of us probably in the 90s when we all loved matte faces, Cover FX launched their Cover FX drops, which you could mix and match with different products. And I don't have the Cover FX ones here. They're the original. They come in loads of different shades. Everybody has done a dupe from Iconic. Now these are the tinted ones that sort of give you that hint of a bronzy glow. They normally come in all the different shades of metal. So they come in a rose gold, a bronze, a copper, and here you get the same effect. See, this is the strobe light and this is the Iconic bronze glow. So you get the same effect but with a hint of colour. And that's what started to happen, was people on the high street started to, that's a moisturising base, this is a non-moisturising base, started to create these glow drops. You know about this, I'm just doing a little bit of history here. Laura Geller has one. Lancome have a really lovely new one actually, which is called Custom Perfect Light Drops. And I'm going to show you this on my other hand. And again, you get the dropper effect. It's up to you how much you use. I've put far too much on my hand there. And that gives you colour as well. Now this brings me into what are now the most common glotions, which are the ones that aren't really about giving that much glow. They're about replacing your foundation. And you'll understand why when I use my microfiber cloth and I wipe off the back of my hands and I introduce you to the Chanel one. So that Lancome one looks like one of the strobe effect lotions. And you know that, obviously, you know that there are, that's the Flower Beauty one, isn't it? Yeah, that's the Celestial Supernova from Flower Beauty. And that's the sort of what I call unicorn drops. I don't know why anybody wants to look that colour. It's a slightly robotic thing, but some people do. Becca do a Skin Love one, which was great, actually great for counteracting redness. And Infallible L'Oreal do the Magic Essence drops. Personally, I think these are very young. I don't know why anybody would want to be green or purple, but I mean, they give amazing effects, and the makeup artists that use them and the Instagrammers that use them look incredible. I want to look like my skin, but better. So let's go into the grown-up equivalent. So the first one, obviously, that is grabbing everybody's attention is this one. This is Chanel Le Beige Water Tint, and they're advertising it, promoting it as something that can replace your foundation. Well, not unless you're a supermodel. It's beautiful. It's a lovely product. It's quite expensive. It comes in 3 shades, which is relatively limited. Beautiful packaging. Chanel do the world's best packaging. Let's not argue about that. But this is what I'm going to show you about what it's like. Okay, so now I've cleansed that hand off. Let's do it on this hand. This really does absolutely give you a gorgeous hint of colour. It really does. It's designed to be used, it's formulated to be used on its own. Gorgeous, soft, fresh, white floral fragrance. Nothing on that hand, and then that hand. But you can still see the veins through. You can still see the imperfections through. This is designed for somebody who has great flawless skin, or somebody who is on holiday or the weekend. And the problem is the minute, and I've tested this, the minute you start to use concealers on this, the minute you use a foundation over the top, you lose the effect. The effect is so subtle. It's not like strobe light where you'll see it through your foundation. It's so subtle. I mean, it's given me a beautiful colour there. It's so subtle, and it's very slightly soft focused, but still gives you that sort of glow, that you put a foundation on the top, you lose it. So it's designed to be used on its own. You know obviously why it's been launched, because this product is iconic and sells amazingly. And this is Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is obviously Charlotte Tilbury's multi award-winning take on part strobe cream, part foundation. Now, I know a lot of people that use it on their own with just concealer at the weekends. It comes in a huge range of shades. There's my shade, which is actually relatively dark. It goes right up to this shade here. And in fact, even I could use this darker shade if I wanted to get the same effect as the Chanel. So here we go. Looks ridiculously dark on my hand, but on a freshly moisturised face. Now, bearing in mind, I'm rubbing this into a hand that isn't moisturised and it's just been cleansed off. You're getting that gorgeous hint of tan. They feel very similar. They've got a very similar finish. It's a sort of lit from within. It's more about light than shimmer. And let's be honest here, Chanel created that because this is a bestseller. This comes in more shades. I personally would not use that on its own without concealer. For me, it doesn't hide the broken veins. But the way I use this, which is a way that you could also use this, is I like to dab it over my foundation to give me a lit from within look. So I put my concealer on, put a little bit of foundation, and then I dab it through here and through here. Or if I'm going the whole hog, I put it under my foundation, then I put my foundation on, then I dab a little bit even over the top. This is the reason, sorry, rumbling stomach, this is the reason for this sudden explosion in these weightless foundation, not a foundation, Glotion, strobing cream, not a strobing cream because it hasn't got any shimmer in it, but you're sort of lit from within. It's essentially like MAC Strobe Cream, but with a hint of pigment. Good old Charlotte started a revolution there. There are other products on the market. However, should we go on to the high street? L'Oreal Paris have got one, and I'm going to put the name in here, that a lot of you have said. When I put up this story up on Instagram, I said, who wants to know about Glotions? L'Oreal Paris do a great one that is really reasonably priced. But the newest one on the market actually is Max Factor in terms of the high street. And Max Factor have something called Radiant Lift, which is lasting radiance. And if I show you, let me make sure I have cleaned my hand off to give you an accurate representation of what it's like. What you end up with here is, I wouldn't call this a foundation. I would call this basically a dupe for Hollywood Filter. It has a little bit more coverage, but really not enough coverage to warrant it being called a foundation. In fact, if you look at it in the bottle, you can see it's got quite a heavy, light reflective golden pigment in it. Again, you see, I wouldn't call that really a foundation. I'd call that a glotion. And you can't do anything about shimmers, I think, without talking about Becca, who to me are probably the range of makeup that do soft glow, soft shimmer, powders, highlighters, probably better than anybody. They were probably the original makeup brand, not to launch soft shimmers, obviously, because we have MAC, but what they did was they launched, they went for it. Powders, setting sprays, primers, you name it, they will shimmer and light reflect and radiate the hell out of your skin. This is the Becca priming filter. And let me show you how this one works. When it comes to Becca, honestly, hand on heart, you'd be hard pushed to find, if you've got one makeup stand to go to anywhere in any store and you want to find out everything there is to know about soft focus radiant priming filter products, that's Becca's the one. Okay, so let me show you this. I've just realised I put it on the back of both hands. Now this is much more like strobe cream. This is like a moisturiser. Take it from the back of that hand so you can look at the difference. That has like almost like skincare effects. Boring, dull, flat skin, lit, radiant skin. Really nobody does them better than Becca. But I'm going to finish with one other high street version because I've mentioned the L'Oreal one, I've mentioned the Max Factor one. Rosie, when she launched her, Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, when she launched her makeup range at Marks and Spencer, she insisted, I mean, she has such beautiful skin anyway, she insisted on having a no makeup product. And she wanted something, and this is actually before Charlotte launched her Hollywood Flawless filter. She wanted something that just gave skin radiance on her days off, but could also be layered under and over foundation. And she came up with the absolute brilliant Sheer Finish Complexion Enhancer. And that actually, to be honest, describes what these are. They should be sheer finish. You're not getting the same coverage as a foundation. You may need to use concealer as well. Check that they work with concealer and you don't start moving the product, especially if they're pigmented like the Chanel one. They enhance your complexion, they don't cover your complexion. And this is a really lovely product. And I remember when she launched this and she put it out, I mean, basically, I'd like to say it gives you supermodel skin. But basically I could eat this, bathe in this, wash in this. I'm still not going to look like lovely Rosie Huntington-Whiteley. But this is a really light coverage, soft focus, radiant finish product. Unscented. And so if you're on the high street and you want something this is basically, can either be used as weekend skin. So it's no makeup, weekend skin, minimum effort, maximum results kind of product. Boring, deathly dull hand, soft focus, pretty hand. And it's difficult to tell with these lights whether you're actually going to see these, but I hope you can. That's a really lovely product. That's essentially a little bit like strobe cream. Honestly, hand on heart, if I was going to choose any of these, I would choose Hollywood Flawless Filter. Only because it gives you just the right amount of a hint of coverage without concealing your skin. And I tend towards the more grown-up end of the spectrum. So more about radiance, less about shimmer. So the lovely Rosie Huntington-Whiteley one, the Becca one, and then obviously if you find the right colour, although there is a range of colours, I do like strobe cream. For me as an adult with less than perfect skin, uneven skin surfaces and fine lines, you've got to be careful where you put your shimmer. If you're putting it on the top of your face here, how far do you go in before you hit smile lines? I personally am not, you know, my nose is fine, but I don't personally want to highlight my nose. I want to do what Mary Greenwell calls the magic C, which is the double C, which is basically the high points of your face, which is here. I don't really want to highlight my chin or my nose or the middle of my forehead because for fear of the fact I don't want to look sweaty. So that's my take on glotions. I'm going to put all the details down below. If you've got one you love, that's more reasonably priced than either Max Factor or Rosie Huntington Whiteley, or L'Oreal, let me know. Now, just to let you know, these things are pigmented. There. Can you see how dirty that is now? It's not that they don't have pigment in them. It's not that they don't have some depth of coverage in them, but it's just not foundation depth coverage. It's not even BB or CCD depth coverage. That's my guide to Glotions. I hope you found it interesting. It's not a set category. It's literally a fluid category of products that can be fit in and around your skin type and skin finish, depending on what you want. However, if you don't need one, don't get one. It's an add-on. It's a fun add-on to give you that soft focus lit from within. You look like you filtered your skin, but you actually haven't. Look. Please don't go over the top and end up with what Andrew Gallimore calls Harry Potter and the girl with the golden nose, and you'll know exactly what I mean if you're on Instagram. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you soon.